Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong. Welcome to the Back of His Teardown Lab. We're going to just jump straight into this. If you recall, I had the gas Parkside glue gun, which is pretty awesome. No horrible wires. It sort of reminded me that this one had something wrong with its cranking handle, and it does still work in that it heats up the glue, but it's awfully hard to crank. And I kind of speculated that some glue had got inside, but I'm not so convinced anymore that that's a likelihood, but it makes sense just to have a quick look in there. Almost tempted to plug it in so it just starts heating, because you know how long these things take to heat up, but I'm prepared to do a jump cut in the middle of the video. Doesn't stop me before. Now all the other screws have come out great apart from this bloody one, so maybe this is the one that ruins the whole project. Come on. Got to remember maybe to replace this screw with something else. Nope. Get that going. Useful tools these. If you don't have one, if you get one, it will change your life. I think that's a fair thing to say. They're so you don't realise you need one, basically. They're the equivalent of a domestic welder for general materials. Because if you ever do welding, the cool thing about welding is it's instant. Once you've welded two bits of metal together and they maybe cool down a bit, you can use that thing forever and ever. It's done right away. Glue gun's a bit similar in that you just don't have to wait for something to cure or dry or whatever. It just works. Right, doesn't quite want to just jump apart, but that could be a good thing. I'm eyeballing it up very cautiously. There does seem to be some springs in there. We're going to need our spludger. It's got some sort of quite nice plastic actually. I just want to check something. Yeah, that's a glass reinforced plastic. This is definitely one of the better quality glue guns, Arrow brand. I'd say this would have been an expensive one, but it indeed is not wanting to open. I'm thinking I'm seeing hot glue in there. It's full of hot melt. So that was my sort of thesis, was going to be that it has, my hypothesis has that the hot glue has got into it, and it bloody well has. So what I am going to do, I am going to plug it in because I think we need it to warm up. There's no way I'm going to get that apart while it's just totally full of glue. But yeah, once it warms up, it might just spludge. Oh, that's a long 5 minutes. Let's try again. Gummy goodness. The horror. It's definitely horrific in there. Come on. Certainly, it's got to part a bit further, but dang. Oh, this has potential for ending up with a lot of hot glue on parts that I'd rather not have hot glue. Okay, all the trigger mechanisms falling apart, but I think that's the least of our worries. Thank gosh it is that fiberglass reinforced plastic, or it would be splitting right now. Come on now. Probably should have unplugged that, but I don't want it to cool down. I'm just applying an even temperature, an even force to it, so that. Look at that. Ah, yeah, that's not good. That I'm gonna, leave to cool down and try picking that out. This one, look at this. How do you do that? As I said, I lent this to my darling wife, and it came back like this. It's obviously just sort of back pressured the glue out of the back of that, but crikey, I'm not sure how you do it, unless you're maybe forcing it too much before it's had a chance to heat up. There is probably one glue stick's worth. I think it's just sensible just to get the trigger out all together before that breaks. Probably remove... Ooh. Yeah. Maybe I will unplug it at this point. Just because the wire here is just a very thin... It's amazing actually. I never really looked at the insides of a glue gun before other than just sort of repair them. When I say repair, just repairing the trigger mechanisms. But yeah, that's a mighty thin wire to that heater. There we go. That part is probably not so bad. In fact, if I can find a suitable implement, and luckily enough I do have one, I think you can probably remove... Ah, look, there's a split there in the silicone. That's going to be a problem to fix, but there's your problem. So replacement part will be needed for that. The rest of those okay. I think that's just leave that and let it cool down. There's a metal block there attached. You can just about see it. That's clipped. That's the heating element clipped to this body of that thing. Okay, yeah, that's groovy. We'll just put that somewhere. A bit of cardboard over here. Never a shortage of cardboard lying around. Just... Oh, it's stuck to me bench. Yeah, I'm not sure how you tackle that really. I think it's just best to let it get cool. But I'm just going to try to get the biggest blob out. Look at that. This is quite good glue, by the way. This is a different grade of glue gun glue. The black glue gun glue goes very hard. It's almost structural. You can see it here, and yeah, it looks quite good if you're doing production stuff or automotive stuff, because the clear is a bit horrible, isn't it? It does look a bit arts and crafts. That is quite tenacious. I think you could just, with enough effort, just get in there and dig it all out. I don't think that's going to be a big problem, to be honest. It's going to be quite... Once you've cleared enough around the trigger mechanism and stuff, you could probably leave the sort of residue in there. I don't think it's going to cause you any main difficulty, apart from if it runs down into something. So you would just try to clear out as much as you can. This one's a little bit more toffee-like. I'm wondering if it's a bit like epoxy resin, where epoxy resin's easier to clear off things if you leave it in a big blob. Probably the same, just as long as it's not adhering to anything too tenaciously. Look at that, that would be quite good. Just poke that into something, let it go hard. Right, let's have a look at the main bit though, the bit that needs to be fixed. So I'm going to have to get hold of some silicone tube. Look at that, it's actually got a little flange on it. That's going to be mighty tricky, but yeah, I think it's just perished. No doubt it's going to be impossible to find, but you do get different grades of silicone tube for other things. So I suspect if I can just find something of the right internal diameter, the external diameter is not really a problem, there's plenty of room in the case. That'll just work as a sort of guide to push that through. But yeah, very simple extruder. I'm sure it's just ridiculously hot. It's still, you can feel the heat actually just coming off it. But yeah, it's just held on with a spring there. And so it's not really much to it. I think that's why those thumb operated glue guns are so easy to use. You just wait, heat up and push it through with your thumb. So yeah, I'm thinking uneconomical repair unless somebody knows of a good source for that silicone. But perhaps I might keep this and repair it on another day when I can find, using parts of a different glue gun. But look, actually the trigger's broken too. It's missing a peg. There's a lot going wrong with this one, bad boy. Oh well. Thanks for watching. The possibilities are endless. Ow, 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 ow. Get off. What to do with that? Dangerous.